In this week's Parsha, we depart from the usual narrative of Moses and the children of Israel wandering through the wilderness from their perspective. And instead, the camera turns and focuses on King Balak, the king of Moab, who wants to curse the Israelites so that he can conquer them in battle. And he hires Bilaam, who is known as a sorcerer or a prophet, to curse the Israelites. And Bilaam is a very connected individual. He is able to have conversations with God, and he only wants to do what is in God's will. And Bilaam gets hired by Balak to curse the Israelites. And God comes to him in a dream and says, "They're my people. You can't curse them." And he comes back, Bilaam, to Balak. "I can't curse them," God says. And Balak pushes him and says, I'll give you power and riches and money. So Bilaam goes back to try to do it again. And God again comes in and tells him that he can go with Balak's people, but he has to only do what God tells him to do. Now, Bilaam, being someone who wants to serve God, continues to still go along with Balak's people to curse the Israelites, even after God tells him that he doesn't want him to do it, because he's entranced by the power and the money, and wants to try to find a way around it. And the result of this is that when God sends an angel to Bilaam while he's riding on his donkey, Bilaam can't even see the angel. The donkey stops, presses Bilaam against the side of a fence. Bilaam beats the donkey. He doesn't see that there is an angel with a sword in front of him. And that's what happens when we are motivated by desire, by our own plan and sense of what needs to happen. We are not able to see clearly what's in front of us. And what happens a lot of the time is sometimes we set out to do really good things. We want to help in the world, and we have that motivation, just like Bilaam did. He wanted to serve God. But at the same time, we also have some of our own ego motivations, things that we are invested in for ourselves. Our intention isn't totally pure. For some of us, when we recognize that our intention isn't totally pure, we decide not to help or not to put ourselves out there at all, because we don't want it to come from that place. And that deprives us and others of the opportunity for beauty and for growth. But for those of us who go ahead and do move forward, if we can be aware that even in our desire to help and to serve, that sometimes we have our own agendas and our own motivations that can be coupled with it, then we can allow those own desires and motivations not to cloud our being able to see what's in front of us and what needs to be done. And instead, we can affirm the place in us that wants to serve and wants to do good, and put ourselves wholeheartedly into that place.